We are live. Oh my God. We have to wait for people to join. Nobody now. They'll join, yeah. It's 1 minute to the time. They'll get to join. It's because we are early, so when they come online, they'll get to see that we've started already.
We are eager.
Yeah. So they won't feel bad that it came before us. Okay, it's time. Six on dot. But let's wait for others to come online. I think we are too early. Let's wait a bit. They'll join us, sure. Come in. Let me remind people.
Where did you go?
I'm coming.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. I only went to reshare the link. Yeah, we have one person who've joined us already. Welcome to the live
Yay.
stream. Say hello to us so get to see who is live with us. Okay, I guess we is 1 minute past, so we'll start very soon. Or should we start already?
It's up to you.
You say what? Whew, you're waiting. We are waiting. Little join, don't worry. We are waiting. I can tune a song. I can actually sing a song.
Sing a
I
song.
can tune a song. Did I tune a song? I
Yes,
can tune
do
a song
it.
as we're waiting for them. We are waiting for everybody to join us. Hello, Sister Blessing is here. Blessing Aya Buena TV. You're welcome. Daniel, you're welcome. Yay! We have people here. Okay.
Yay.
They are obviously here with us. You're welcome, Daniel.
Hello.
Whew. Hello. I should continue my song as you keep waiting. We are waiting. I can really be a bit playful. Like I'm really very playful, you know.
That's the best way. Best way to be.
That's what?
The best way to be.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we should just start as they'll get to join us. And for those who'd watch the replay, they'll get to see everything. Okay. The publication started late, so don't worry, they'll be here. They sure will be here. They're 4 minutes into the live. I'm waiting for everybody. You're gonna teach me some of your yoga practices. I actually want to get serious with my exercises. I want to get serious with it, you know. But then I
Yeah,
didn't have
sure.
something really motivating me. I didn't have something really motivating me. I
Yeah, I
love
mean, I
yoga.
guess
I love yoga exercises.
you love it.
Yeah, I love yoga exercise. I do yoga
Nice.
sometimes, you know, yoga for flexibility, yoga for stress relief, you know, yoga for strength. I do all of them, but I'm not consistent with it. I love it.
Yeah, it's
It
hard to
calms the
stay
mind. It calms the mind and the brain.
for sure. For sure.
Okay, let's start. Let's start. Let us start. Welcome everybody to this live section. Welcoming everybody who have joined and those who is actually yet to join us. Okay. I'm so glad to have Grace Grossmann here. Yay! I've already anticipated for a very long time. Finally, she's here. I'm
Yay!
so excited. Yeah. So, Grace Grossmann is a German author. She's authored a wonderful, wonderful, amazing book. I have a testimony with your book, and I'm gonna tell it all. I'm gonna tell the testimony.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, your book is awesome. I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell the testimony with time if everybody comes online. Okay, so and she's also a yoga expert. She's a tutor. She tutors those who want to relax their mind with yoga exercises. I'm not gonna say everything. I'll wait for Grace herself to introduce herself. So
Yay!
tell us about you.
Thank you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
my name is Grace, and I am a writer, an author, and a yoga teacher. And I like to help people find peace within themselves so that they can shine their light on the outside. That is like my aim in life.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. So when did you actually have this, when you have this thought about reaching out to people to calm themselves down?
I guess because for me, to begin with, it was a very like personal journey. Like I found yoga through stress relief. And then when I found it through stress relief, I got better at the practice, and I found like more peace within myself. And I wanted to share that peace that I found on the mat with other people. So that's why I was kind of like, I want to be a yoga teacher and I want to like help people in this way because I know that it really is, like you said, like a mental shower, you know? And yeah, I guess that's why it helped me. So I wanted to help other people because of the benefits that it showed me.
Okay. So at what stage in your life did you find out that yoga really helps a lot? Was it when did you go through anything extreme, mentally extreme, for you to plug yourself into yoga and you found that it worked for you and you just want to help others, or did you just go into it?
Well, yeah, no, it came to me when I was studying at university and I was like really stressed and I needed something that like would help me turn off. And so I just started on YouTube, like looking for like de-stress. And this was when yoga really wasn't very much a thing, about like 6 years ago, I would say. And then I started doing it and it was really fun. And then unfortunately my best friend passed away and it really like helped me like heal myself and like kind of come to terms with like how I feel like on an emotional basis. Like it really helps me balance. So like if I'm feeling out of balance, I can like come to the mat and I can come and find that peace of mind and that balance that I always strive to find in different areas of my life.
Okay, that's awesome. Did you attend a class for yoga or you taught yourself,
Sorry.
self-taught? Did you attend a class for the yoga or you taught yourself about it?
No, no, I attended classes and then I taught myself as well at the same time. It was kind of like both. So I went on YouTube and then I went in person to classes, and then I also kind of like taught myself in my room like how to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yay, welcome to every new person who just joined the live stream. Hello. I'm saying hello to you all. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so back to you, Grace. When did you start writing? When did you start writing?
When did I start writing? Oh well,
Yeah.
I've been like writing my whole life really. I've kind of since I was young always written journals, always written in my diaries, and I always dreamt of the day that I would publish a book, and I never knew that I could do it until it happened. But like I've always kind of had this dream in my mind that one day I would publish a book. And yeah, I've been writing all my life, but never really seen it as like a duty, rather a hobby of mine. And I just really enjoy writing. It's such like a it's like yoga as well. It like heals the mind. You know what I mean? Like it's such like a peaceful act of personal discovery and personal strength, I think.
Yeah, awesome. When I read Chill Out and Cheer Up, when I read your book, I was actually at a point in my life where I almost gave up on everything. I got so tired. I got so tired of, a lot of things. And at that point, I had Chill Out and Cheer Up as my month to be read. I was supposed to read it that particular month. I think that was March or so. And when I picked, first of all, what drew me to your book was the title, Chill Out and Cheer Up. And I was like, yo, this is so nice. Then the book cover was so colorful. The book cover was so colorful, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to really read this book because most of the times I actually pick books based on the cover. Hello, King Smart. Hello, thanks for joining the live. Yeah, so most of the times I pick books based on the book cover, and yours was so bright, and I'm like, I'm going to try this book. Finally, I started reading this, and I found that, oh my God, I gradually started calming my mind. My mind started calming, and all those the mind that was just going here and there started calming down, as if I have just this imaginary spirit touching me to calm down. I saw life from a different angle. I saw it's not a competition, it's just a matter of us bettering ourselves. So at a point, I thought is somebody that is so advanced because I really know I've seen your pictures on the internet and I'm like, okay, she's not 100 years old for her to know all of these things. So how did she come about? How did she come about with all this knowledge, all these things? Like that is really a great life hack. I read it and I'm like, has this person really come to life in the world before? Because these things are so wow for it to get me cool. So tell me, how did you get to know so much about life? How are you able to just harm me? And I know that I'm not the only person feeling this effect. I believe that a lot of people out there who have read your book would definitely feel this effect in one way or the other. Hello, John Sky. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for joining. So yes, I know that a lot of people who have read your book would definitely feel the same effect. I want to know how you how you know so much about life. How you were able to impact all of those knowledge. Tell me. I'm curious.
Well, firstly, thank you so much. Like your words touch my heart, and it makes me so happy to hear that you can get so much insight from my book and feel that way about it. Like I never even thought that I'm considered knowledgeable. I just kind of like write what my heart tells me to write. And I guess I would just see it as a
Okay.
blessing from God that like he's blessed me with this like insight into life. And unfortunately, through harder times that I've experienced, I feel like I've learned a lot through those harder times and kind of become more mindful and more experienced through them. So then, yeah, I guess it's just experience. And I know, like you say, like I'm not that old, but like I see every lesson, I see every day as a lesson, and I kind of like get something from people that I meet. Like I always take something away from a person that I've met, or I take something away from an experience that I've had, and I kind of just like have it in my mind and then have it in my heart and then want to share it. I guess it's just about becoming more mindful about every experience that you have and wanting to kind of like share that with other people around you. Yeah, I guess it's all about mindfulness and becoming more aware, like self-awareness, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. So, if you don't mind, would you like to tell us your age?
Yeah, of course. I'm 26.
Oh my God, you're 26. That's pretty
Yeah.
young. Oh, that's nice. So, would you mind to share some of those experiences you just mentioned? Some of those experiences of life you've gone through that really made you to able to put out this wonderful book out there, a book of the mind, a book that is able to calm people in desperate, situations. And when someone is actually in distress, your book actually is powerful, I would say. So, would you mind to share some of those hard experiences?
Yeah, so I mean, as I mentioned before, I think the death of my best friend at the age of 21 was like massive blow to my life because it wasn't just passing away. It was a lot of grief surrounded around it because I was helping him a lot with his mental health and his drug problems. And basically like I was so involved in this like kind of drug world, and not on a personal level, like I wasn't taking them, but like I saw him taking them, and I was like trying to help him kind of like get out of it and then see what he was escaping from, you know, like I was kind of like looking at it like in a way where I could see what the pressures of the world, like, you know, my chapter 1 is about pressure, and I think that was a massive thing for him, that he was trying to escape the whole time through the route of drugs. And so I guess I learned a lot from that experience of losing my best friend because I was so involved in it, like heavily involved in it. And then through that, I wanted to kind of like, you know, help other people get through it because I know that everyone suffers in some way. And I see that everyone suffers in some way, especially these days with social media and with all the pressure that we have in life, and like the kind of like doubt that we have that's surrounded around advertisement and society's pressure and everything like that. And it kind of like made me notice that he wasn't the only one and that a lot of people suffer as well. So I guess that was the main experience that drove me to write this book, to help other people like him, or just help people in general, like see a different perspective to life and ignore the perspective that is pushed on us every day to think some way, to think a certain way, to live a certain way, where it's actually not, there's nothing laid out for us, you know. It doesn't matter if you don't marry, get a job, get a house, and all of this stuff that is like expected of us. It doesn't mean that it's a path to happiness, because all of us have a different path to happiness. And I think it was that kind of like unique way of like seeing life and what makes you happy on a personal level, and not what is expected of you to like be happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Awesome. That's nice. Did you remember when you first drafted the first chapter, the first page of your book? Did you remember when you first drafted it? And how did the idea just come? Some persons would say the idea comes when you're in the bus. Some people would say they did not intentionally sit down to draft it. Some people would say they're taking a walk and then ideas are flowing in. So, did you know when the idea came in and when did you start drafting?
Yeah, I guess it was actually when I was sat in a bench in a park. I was living in Spain at the time, and I loved being in parks and being in nature. And I was reading, and then I was sat there and I was like, I can easily write something that will help people connect more with nature, because one of my chapters is about nature, as you know, and connect with themselves on a deeper level. And yeah, it was just I think I'd moved to Spain just after the death of my best friend, and I was healing myself, and I was on this like personal like spiritual path, and then I was sat there and I was like, I think I'm gonna like write something like this. And then I remember going home and just kind of like drafting out all the chapters, like writing all my ideas down, and like like writing everything down on like what it would be about. And then it spurred me on to like continue. It was a very like inspirational flow of creativity that just came to me.
Okay, that's nice. So why did you come up with the name Chill Out and Cherub?
That's a good question. Um, I didn't know what to call it, and it was like just at the end of me writing it, and I was like, what will get people's attention? Like the subtle art of not giving a fuck is like so big because there's a swear word in it. And so I was thinking like, oh, why don't I call it chill out and cheer the F up? And then I was like, no, I'm not gonna copy Mark Hansen, is it? I don't want to copy him, and I don't want a swear word in my chat in my book. So I just asked people like, what would interest you to read a book? And I gave them some titles, and the most popular title was Chill Out and Cheer Up. People were like, yeah, like it sounds really cool. Sounds like you want to like pick it up and cheer up yourself and chill out. And I was like, okay, I think this is a good one. So yeah, it kind of came to me through the help of other people.
Okay, that's nice. It's really sounds like the perfect name for that book. Like it's the perfect title based on
Nice.
what the book talks about. Chill out and terror because we just all have to cheer up.
We
It's
do.
it's a nice title. So apart from Amazon, where else do you have your book? I know it's on Amazon.
It's on Barnes and Nobles, is it called? Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Barnes and Nobles. And no, there's other platforms, like other book platforms, but I can't really remember them. Because I mean, if you just Google chill out and cheer up, it will probably come up with the different platforms. But Barnes and Nobles is one of them.
Okay, is it on Kindle?
Sorry?
Is it on Kindle?
Yeah, it's on Kindle and it's also
Is
on
the book
Kindle
on
Unlimited.
Kindle?
Yeah, so like if you have a subscription, then you can get it for free on Kindle Unlimited. So that's quite a good way of getting it.
So what genre of book would you say your book falls under? What genre of book?
I would say that it comes under nonfiction, self-help. So, I mean, I think a lot of the time these days we need more self-help, especially as we're have seeing a rise in
Mhm.
mental health issues and seeing a rise in suicide, and it's worldwide. It's not only in one place, but I feel like this whole like society, this what like this society is just kind of like killing us all, and the pressure is really getting to us, and people are dying like all the time because it's getting too much for them and they don't feel like they can live up to the standards. So yeah, I would say that it comes under self-help, and I would say that more people probably need self-help these days to not to nurture their minds.
Okay. Self-help, that's perfect. So, would you recommend your book to, you know, schools? Do they read your book? You know, like
That's a really good idea.
high
Yeah.
schools? Because
Um,
I actually know that. I actually know that. Um, when a child gets to the teenage, they start facing a whole lot of toxic, circumstances, and at that particular level, their minds and they just start a whole different kind of world. So, do you in person, do you as a person go to those high schools to recommend your book to help heal all of those having some emotional issues?
it's a really good idea, Mario. Like I didn't even
Have you?
think of that. Maybe I should do that. I haven't done that yet, but like I do remember a review actually. Someone said in the review that that children should read this in their school curriculum, and that really touched my heart as well because, like you just said, going through your teenage years and puberty is probably really hard these days, especially with all like the pressure that they feel as well on top of everything else. So yeah, it's a good idea. I've not done it, but maybe I should.
That's a nice idea. So, do you use your book to teach your yoga classes?
I do. I'm teaching a yin yoga class this evening, and it's so yin yoga is all about kind of like holding the positions for like 5 to 10 minutes. And while we hold the positions, I just like flick through my book and just read random words from my book as we hold the positions in yoga. And it seems to be quite relaxing because sometimes in yin yoga, when you hold the positions, you're in pain and it like really hurts. So I thought of coming up with the idea of yoga and reading. And yeah, it's a class that I give. So yeah.
What would you tell those who really want to, write a book? For those who want to write a book, how do you advise them to write a book? Because basically, this is a book journal, and a lot of people want to write books. So, how would you tell them to start writing their book? How would you tell them to make their book a good book? What basically would you say about that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot of people ask me this as well because people want to write books a lot, like you just said. Um, and what I would do is I would just like write down all the ideas that you have on a piece of paper and then look at the ideas that you have and see what you can kind of like get from it. And then from there, like if you have a clear idea of what your book should be about, then like just write all the chapters out, like plan it out before you write anything. Because I think if you go into writing a book straight away without really knowing the synopsis or like characters, or if you're going to go into fiction or like the ending and stuff like that, then you might get a bit lost. So it's just like writing an essay. You always have to plan it out beforehand. Yeah, so I would write down all the ideas and then plan from there. Like it's not that hard writing a book. Like when you let the inspiration come in, it all just like will come out and it will all just flow. If you find your flow, then you can go with it.
Were you scared when you were about writing, when you were publishing your book? Were you scared if the book is going to be accepted? I know some authors who actually got scared after writing their books. They got scared before they publish it or while publishing it, if it's going to sell at all, or if people actually going to like the book. So were you scared when you were publishing
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, is anyone going to read this? Is anyone going to actually enjoy it? Like, is it just me talking to myself? Or because, as you know, like you said before, it's very much me talking on paper. Like, it's kind of like a journal style, isn't it? So, like, my style of writing, I was like, oh, will people enjoy my style of writing? Like, is it too in your face? Or yeah, like you kind of get all these doubts. Um, but then I read my chapter of doubt. No, I didn't really. I just kind of like trusted in it. And when I put it out there and I got like one first review, I was like, wow, this review was like, more people need to read this. It's so calming and so um like soothing to the ear. And I was like, okay, so if one stranger says this who I don't even know, then surely it's a good enough book for me to be proud of. And it kind of, the more reviews I got, the more confident I got in it. But of course, at the start, I was like, is anyone even going to read this?
it? Okay, but you finally overcame it. You overcame the
Yeah.
fear. So to everybody watching right now, thank you for joining. Please, you can type out your questions. If you have any questions for our guest today, she'll be very, very excited to answer your questions, read it out, and then yeah, she would actually attend to you. So back to you, Grossman. Do you publish? Did you self-publish a book?
This book I didn't self-publish. My first book I did, Spring 2020, The Season of Self-Discovery, which is a short self-help book about how to get through hard times. I wrote it right at the start of Corona in April 2020. That I self-published, but this one I published with Yellow Scribe, which is a small publisher in London. Um, and she's like a friend of mine on Instagram, and I found her and stuff. So it's not such a big publisher, but I wanted kind of like some help with social media marketing, stuff like that. So yeah, like this one was not completely self-published, but at the same time, it wasn't a big publisher.
Okay, so can you actually share the name of? You said she's a publisher, right?
Yeah.
Like publishers book. Some persons who might be writing their books right now, looking for publishers or those to actually help out with, editing, publishing. They might actually need the help of those who helped in publishing your book. So you can actually call out the name of the person who published yours. I know that Blessing Yagwena, who is live with us right now, is writing a book, and yes, she would actually be done publishing soon, I hope.
Oh, nice.
So you can just
Very nice.
say some persons might be writing books you don't know.
Yeah. Yellow Scribe is what is the publisher that I was with. And I thought Yellow Scribe
Okay.
is good because my book is yellow.
Yeah, can you show us that again? Show us the book again.
Yeah, for sure. Here. And then here is the publisher.
Okay, that's awesome. I read the ebook, so I just go copy. But that's so great.
I
Leslie
will have to
said
send
she'll be
you. I
done
will have to send
publishing
you a
soon.
copy.
Okay.
You'll have to send me your address and I can send you a
Okay.
copy.
That would be nice. Come on. It should sit beautifully on my shelf.
Yay!
Can you tell us some books? Yeah. Okay, Blessing said, how much did you spend? How did you spend publishing?
Okay, so Yellow Scribe had like a package, and it was £500 to publish the book with them, for them to copy edit it, for them to um, do it all on Amazon, the KDP, for them to do social media marketing. So it was like a really good package that I got, because normally, like I would say, big publishers cost around 1,000 to 2,000 euros or dollars. So you're looking, if you want to publish with a big publisher, you're looking to spend about 1,000 or more. So you have to be careful of that, because I mean, you could be an indie author. Indie authors are the ones that publish themselves, like me, and then you don't have to do all the expenses, but at the same time you're going to probably put that money in towards marketing yourself, so on Facebook, the advertisement, for everything. So you do have to have quite a bit of money available, I would say.
Okay. How many copies of your books in estimates, like estimate the numbers? How many have you sold?
How many have I sold? I've sold over 2,000, I would say. Yeah.
2,000? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, 2,000. Over
2,000
2,000.
copies.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. And it was
Yeah, it was.
out last year. It was out
No,
last
it was
year.
out in January 2021. It came out. So 8 months ago.
This year?
Yeah.
Whoa, that is awesome. So fast.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It became a #1 Amazon bestseller as
So,
well.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. You're going to be sharing a lot of your tips here because people will be interested. So, okay, another question here for you. Are they helping you to sell your books on Amazon and other platforms? Yeah, Blessing is
Um,
asking, are they helping you to sell your books on Amazon and other platforms?
so like basically the publisher will help you at the start, but then like leave you. Like not really like keep helping you for months and months and months. Kind of just the start of when you publish a book, like the coming up of it and everything. So no, they're not helping me sell the books on Amazon and other platforms. Now it's just out there and it's up to me to give it to people, to contact people like Mario on Facebook, on Instagram, and to help me kind of like view the book and get it out there. So it's very much up to yourself. Like you have to have a lot of willpower and a lot of confidence because if you don't have confidence in your book, then how is it going to sell, you know?
Wow, wow. I'm so excited. 2,000 already. Yo. So we are heading to 100,000 soon.
Imagine, I would be amazed.
Okay, so do you have any other strategy, your selling strategy that you can actually say to those who want to publish a book, what you just right now? I know you said they can share it on their social media platforms and the publishing agency can also help out. So, is there any other way you do market your book apart from the social media and the publishing agency?
I think the biggest way is to contact people like yourself. So people that are professional reviewers and that do this as a full-time thing or as a part-time thing and that love books. Like you just have to reach out to people that love books like yours. So like if people are into, let's say you're into nonfiction and I write nonfiction, so I specifically look for hashtags on Instagram for nonfiction reviewers, and then I contact them and I'm like, hey, would you be interested in reviewing my book? And if they say yes, then I would maybe send them a free copy, or I would tell them to buy a copy and I could reimburse them. So you always have to be open to kind of um, giving them a free copy because they're reviewing your book for you and you want them to do a good job, and it does take a lot of time and effort. So I think that's the biggest tip I would give is to look for reviewers because it's such a big world, isn't it? Bookstagram. Like it's a real big world that I never knew existed until I published a book myself. There's so many people out there that are bookstagrammers, and you're just like, wow.
Oh, that's nice. I think this have answered the question I have here. I think you've answered her question. Yeah. She said, "Do you know the right people to sell?" I think that have answered the
Yeah.
question already. So, do you intend writing any other book? Should we expect another
Yeah.
book from you?
Oh, yes, we do. You do. I just wrote a book actually. It's quite short compared to Chill Out and Cheer Up. Chill Out and Cheer Up is quite a thick book. Um, but my current book that I just finished, I'm looking for a publisher now. So my job is to get all my books out there. Get my book out there and kind of like yeah, look for a publisher that will be interested. The book that I just recently wrote is about 2021, so about this year and how basically Corona has made us become more kinder as a I would say as a humankind in general, we've become more open, more loving towards one another. And it's kind of like seeing the positive side of Corona and not the negative side. And so I've listed a lot of things in it on how we can become more kind to one another. And I actually wrote it while being in a mental clinic because I suffered from mental illness earlier on this year when my book was published. and I wrote it from inside there. So it's quite interesting. I have some stories about patients in there and about the nurses. So you kind of get like a bit of story time as well in there. So it's a cool book. And I hope to publish it soon. I hope to publish it, let's say in December, but maybe it's a bit too soon. I'm not so sure.
So you obviously not remain in the self-help kind of book. You're going to diversify to other genres of book.
Yeah, no, it's still
You're
a
going to
self-help book,
get into other genres of book.
but it's like a bit different. It's like more listicle, more surrounded around listicles, than like big paragraphs, like chunky paragraphs. It's more easier to read, I would say. I was very much, what's his name? Matt Haig. He's a self-help writer. I was very much inspired by him. Reading Notes on a Nervous Planet. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's a great book, and it's very much written like listicles and short paragraphs and very like easy to read. So I made this one much more easier to read.
Okay. So there's a question here for you. Listener wants to get in contact with the publishers. So can you call out your email for those who want to reach personally, maybe your social media handle so that they can actually get to you personally? I believe that Bless will be needing some information from you because she's actually in the process of publishing the book. So yeah, call out your
Yes.
email address and your social media handles.
So my Instagram is Gracie Grossman with a Y and double S double N. Gracie Grossman on Instagram. And then my email is Grace Grossman without a Y, 123 at gmail.com. And yeah, I'm there to help you if you feel like you need help with publishing a book or with anything.
Okay. So I'm still going to place that in the description after this live stream so that people can actually get easy access to it. We have a question here. What has been your biggest challenge as a writer? Daniel is asking, what has been your biggest challenge as a writer? Daniel is a writer too. He's actually published an ebook. He's into culture, so he would like to know your biggest challenge as
Hey. Ooh. Um, my biggest challenge is to keep going and to have the energy. And like, I feel like sometimes I have writer's block, and some people say writer's block isn't real, but I say it is. And writer's block is generally when you just can't write. And I'm going through it right now. Like, I haven't written for a while, and I feel like something's missing out inside of me. And that's my biggest challenge, like facing writer's block and not knowing what to write. And it's really hard and it's frustrating because it's like, when you have a hobby or a passion or just something that you love to do and you can't do it, it's like really frustrating. Like, why can't I do it? But sometimes you just have to live through the ups and downs of life. Like, obviously, you can't always write and you can't always be happy. And I think it's the same thing, like being happy and then being low and kind of like going with the flow. So I'm kind of just letting myself ride the journey at the moment and facing the challenge. And yeah, that's the biggest challenge, writer's block. I hate it.
Have you ever participated in an these writers challenge?
Sorry.
The nano challenge. It's basically for writers, just like beta readers, NaNoWriMo, beta writers. I think all of those challenges, um, most people who want to go into writing, it's like a competition, a challenge. So I don't know
Oh,
if you
cool.
have ever participated in such competition.
No, I've not, but it's a great idea. I probably should look into it. I know that one of my coaching clients, she was doing a poem challenge for like a month where you write a poem every night. And then you submit it into a story. And I think these challenges are great because it like trains your brain to write more. So yeah, maybe I should do a challenge.
It's also a way to gain exposure because people would get to know you as a writer, and then from there you can actually pick out, start from there, pick up with your career, writing career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do any other person have a question for Grace? Do any other person have a question? Because I think I've exhausted my questions for you. Or would you like to tell us something you've not said about yourself? Is there any other thing you want to say about your book or say something about yourself which you've not said already?
Um, I guess I can just explain a bit about what my book is about. Like you said, Mario, like the chat the title kind of explains it all, but I will just kind of tell you it's a 10-step guide, so it's split into 10 chapters. And the first 5 chapters are centered around negative emotions like pressure, fear, doubt, and how society pushes these emotions on us and how we can really like get through them. And then the next 5 chapters are focused on positive attributes around us, so like nature, connection, solitude, and how we can use these to find fulfillment in our life and to find a peace of mind with ourselves. So I kind of split it into the 5 chapters to begin with so that negativity could get out of the way. And then 5 positive things so that we could like really like learn from them and take them on as seeds of comfort to plant in our life. So yeah, that's a bit about my book and how it's split up. Maybe I could just read the blurb, Mario. Yeah.
Okay. Now, for those who, yeah, for those who don't like reading, how do you advise them to read your book? Do you have it in the Audible, audio section, like audiobooks, and on what platforms do you have the audiobook? Because there are so many people who are hungry for knowledge, but they don't like reading, like they don't like reading at all. So not the book type, they're not bookish. Yes, they appreciate books. How do you advise them to go about books?
Well, my first book, Spring 2020, The Season of Self-Discovery, is available as an audiobook, read by me. And I decided to do it as an audiobook myself because it was quite a short read. It was only like 200 pages. Um, but no, less than 200 pages. But this one is like over 400 pages. So I've not had the chance to do an audiobook myself. But what I can say is that this book is not to be read in one go, is it? Like you take each chapter at a time and you can pick it up every day, 10 pages a day. That's what a reader is doing at the moment. And she said it's really like serving her well. A lot of my readers have said that in the morning they'll pick it up as the first thing that they have with their coffee and just read a few pages and then they'll feel a bit better about themselves. So it's an easy read in that sense. And if you're not a reader, I would say this is an easy read for you to start with. In fact, a reviewer said to me last week that it's a beginner's read. So yeah, it's for beginners and for people that are ready to find fulfillment in life.
Okay. So, apart from writing, what else do you do? Apart from writing as a career, what else do you do? What else do you do for a living?
Well, I teach yoga. And I'm also a well-being coach. So I'm a trained coach in helping people like find their fulfillment in life, if that makes sense, or helping them kind of release their anxiety, get through tough situations. So my clients come to me if they are going through a hard time in their life, or if they're going through a time in their life where they need more like support. So yeah, and I'm also going to be training as a physiotherapist soon, which I think goes really well with yoga. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Okay, that's awesome. What did you study in school?
I studied journalism and Spanish.
German English.
No, journalism.
I didn't hear that. You said okay, journalism. Oh, okay. That's perfect. So in line with what you're doing.
Yeah, we
Okay.
really like
Do any
we
other
make
person? I think it's delayed a bit, but I didn't hear what you said right now.
it's okay, don't worry.
Like I was talking about journalism being in line with what you do. I was talking about journalism being in line with what you do. So yeah.
Yeah.
So any other person have any other question for her before we round up this section? It's almost 1 hour. Any other question? Yeah, so being book covers and titles to book could really improve the sales of books. I really want to know. Do you think the name of a book and do you think book cover really improves the sale of a book?
Totally. And I think it's probably, if not the most important thing, yeah, I would say it's probably the most important aspect. Getting a good cover, good color as well. Color scheme is always good. And a good layout and a good title. I think it's probably one of, if not the most important aspect, because what is the saying that everyone says? Don't judge a book by its cover, but people do. People judge a book by its cover.
Okay, totally. So it affects the sales of a book.
Yeah, I
Do you
would
have
say
your
so.
book in ebook?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's available as an ebook and a paperback.
Do you have your book in ebook? I can't hear. I can hear you. Aside the paperback, is it an ebook?
Yes, it's an ebook as well. And it's available on Kindle and Unlimited.
Okay. Okay. Another question. Yes, people judge books by their cover. Okay, so that's something people should know. Like I said, yes, people judge books by their cover. So for any
Yeah,
person who
sure.
wants to write a book, they should have it at the back of their mind. Yeah, that they should have a good cover and definitely a good title. That's all. So thank you so much, Grace Grossman, for joining this
Thank you.
section. I'm so glad to have you. Are you a German or are you based in Germany?
I'm half German, half English. So my dad is German and my mum is English. And I'm living in Germany now.
Okay, that's nice. Okay. All right, so I'm going to definitely place the link to purchase Grace Grossman's book in my description. And any final words from you? Any final words? What would you like to say to us before the section? Do you
And
like to sing just the way I sang at the beginning of the show? You asked me to sing and I sang.
yeah, it was
So what would
you.
you
I
like
love
to
the
say?
song. I know. I'm going to read out my blurb. That will be my last words. Nowadays, we question what leading a happy life entails and how to be satisfied. We end up wasting our energy away, looking for happiness, not living it the right way. What even is the right way? We follow the path that is supposedly set out to us by societal stresses and cunning commercials, steering us in the direction of always wanting more. When in your 20s, 30s, or 60s, we often question what's happening. Let's heal together. Voila.
Okay. Thank you so much. Someone is asking, do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't have
I
YouTube.
can just ask.
Sorry.
Okay. So, other question from any other person before we end this live section? It's a great book. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Someone
you.
says your book is a great book.
Thank you so
I'd like
much.
to ask something concerning your. I'd like to ask something concerning your yoga exercise. You know, the sitting posture is always a crossed leg, and then just why is it always like this? Like, why is the posture always like this? And the
Um,
normal yoga exercise. Why is
I
it always
guess
like that?
I guess it's like this because your heart chakra is here, and so it's really like important for you to connect with your heart chakra at the start and at the end of the practice, so that you can like connect to like your intention, so setting your intention for practice and like setting your peace of mind and coming to a place of peacefulness. So that's why we always put our hands at our heart so that we can kind of like know what's on our heart and be able to set an intention. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Maybe I'll come for a secret yoga class with you, online secret yoga class so that you
Yeah, I
teach
would
me a
love
lot of
that.
things.
Yeah.
How to de-stress and how to. Okay, you can add some Bible scriptures, meditations to your yoga practice.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
somebody
do that
said
too.
you can add
I do that
some Bible
too. Yeah.
scriptures. You do that?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Destiny
Thank
Yana
you.
TV. Thank you. Turning what's that? Turnip Seed Production. Thank you, Mary Daniel, for joining. Thank you, everybody who joined today's live. King Smart, John Sky, excuse me, everybody who joined, those I mentioned and those I didn't mention. I'm so happy to have all of you. And today was so smooth. Like today's life is so smooth. Thank you for coming aboard, Grace Grossmann.
Yeah, it was so
If
nice.
any
Thank
other
you so
person
much for
wants
having
to
me.
know anything, I'll put it all in my I'll put it all in my description. Thank
Thank
you, Grace.
you.
God bless richly. That's
Oh, God
coming
bless
from
you
you.
too.
And the life ends in one. I'm gonna count down to 10 and we end.
Okay.
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you for joining me. See you next Sunday. We have another guest. Bye.
Bye.